Hi everyone, it's Holly, and I probably shouldn't film this video right now because I'm super sick, but I'm gonna film it anyways. I got a cough drop in my mouth. So, the first week of December in 2019, I went to Disney World. I did a haul. There are vlog videos going up now of my trip. But I kind of wanted to talk about some observations from my trip. These are kind of weird, random things, but I just wanted to like put them out there in the world. There's no order or reason. I just like thought of a couple of these while I was on vacation and thought I would make a video. So first I want to talk about bathrooms. So I think this is specifically like what drew me to make this video and that, or like think of this idea. So I am like moderately involved in like the online Disney community, and like I listen to a lot of the Diz podcasts, and Pete Warner from there, I feel like he complains a lot about the bathrooms and how they're like always dirty and stuff. And I have to say, I feel like I have like a lower bar than a lot of people. I just think that Disney is a very crowded place, and I think that if there's toilet paper on the floor every once in a while, that's not a big deal for me, but whatever. But so leading up to this trip, I had heard him complain about stuff like this like multiple times, and I cannot speak for the men's bathrooms. I guess I could have asked my dad what his experience was on this vacation, but I can tell you as a person who goes to the bathroom a lot, because I drink a lot of water in my everyday life, especially in Disney World. I pee all the time. Like, I am a frequent Disney bathroom visitor. It kind of bothers the people I go on vacation with how often I go to the bathroom. I am perfectly healthy. Please don't worry about me. I do not have diabetes. A lot of people think that. I am just a huge water drinker. I always have been. Almost every single bathroom I went into, in every park, even in a lot of like the hotels and stuff, had a cast member in there while I was in there. No matter what time of day, how big or small the bathroom was, there was almost always a cast member in there cleaning the bathrooms. And there was still sometimes like toilet paper on the floor. You literally cannot do more than what Disney is doing, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen so many cast members in a bathroom before. I think that they're doing a fantastic job. Those cast members, every single one of them was nice, was friendly. They were, in addition to being like janitorial, cleaning up things, they were directing traffic and pointing you towards open restrooms. I had one where a little girl was kind of, I don't exactly remember what happened, but she had made a comment in the bathroom to her mom. It was a small bathroom. We were in Columbia Harbor House. They're very tiny. There's only a couple stalls. And the cast member was in there cleaning. And the cast member was like, I think it was about how like crowded it was. There was probably like 3 people, but there's like 2 stalls, you know? And the little girl was kind of like complaining, not in like a bad way. The mom was a perfectly good mom. The little girl was perfectly good little girl. Like, it's just kids, they say stuff and like they, you know, they don't care. They don't think about things. It's fine. And so yeah, I think she was complaining about like how crowded, like about having to wait. And the cast member said something like, well, there's other princesses that have to go to the bathroom too. And she wasn't mean, she wasn't judgy, she was just being nice. And then she gave like the little girl stickers and stuff. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do anything. But that was very nice of her to do. It was very kind. I will also say, if you have children and you are in Disney World, speaking of bathrooms, so a couple things. One, if you are in the World Showcase and you're anywhere near the American Adventure, go to the American Adventure. They're like the biggest bathrooms. So go to those. If you are a couple, a male-female couple, and you have children, I highly encourage the male to take your kids to the bathroom, because it doesn't matter. Like, as somebody who was raised by a single dad, like I have a mom and a dad, but they're not together. My dad took me into the men's bathrooms. What else was he gonna do? Like, seriously, I was not traumatized. It did not destroy my life. I'm fine. I'm perfectly healthy and normal. Men's bathrooms are almost always less crowded. I remember, I think it was the dessert party we were at, and a dad took his daughter into, like, literally the line is like out the door for the women's bathroom, and the dad is like taking his like daughter into the men's bathroom. And obviously daughter usually goes to the bathroom with mom because she's like, am I allowed in here? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, you don't know how lucky you are. Those bathrooms are just, men's bathrooms are just almost always less crowded. I do not know what it is. So if you are a male-female couple and you have kids, strongly encourage you, instead of the female in the couple taking the kid to the bathroom, have the male do it. So much better. Also, I asked my dad, as far as I know, most, if not all, of the Disney bathrooms have baby changing stations in the men's bathrooms, because I specifically asked a couple times, because that's a problem here locally, and it bothers me that men's rooms don't have changing rooms, especially because like look at my dad, like he didn't have a wife or a girlfriend or somebody else to change me a lot of times, so like what was he gonna do, you know? So I think about these things. Anyways, moving on. I've talked about bathrooms for long enough. So crowds. Every time I go to Disney World, I am surprised by how many people are there when I go. I feel like I try to go when it's the least crowded. And this was probably the trip where we had the most trouble getting on things with a low wait time. Now, we go a lot. We bought annual passes. We will be going again within the next year. We went last year, the year before that. I'm not heartbroken if I miss a bunch of attractions, so it's fine by me. But it is definitely more crowded. I'm not complaining. This is an observation. I'm not one of those people, like, Disney's crowded. Like, if people gonna go to Disney World, that's a good thing to me. Like, I'd rather Disney make money and continue to progress and make a park that I love. But it is definitely getting more crowded, and it is definitely getting harder and harder for there to be slow seasons. I was going to talk about the dessert party, but I think I'm going to do a separate video on that, because it was my first time doing it. I also was going to talk about Epcot Forever, but I talk about it with my dad in our vlogs. So instead, we'll just do that because I'm not feeling well. So another thing I want to talk about is types of guests. I didn't know how to like classify this thing, but it's something I've been noticing more and more over my last few trips, and it just warms my heart. So first of all, one of my favorite games to play in Disney World is Spot the Old Couple. I don't know if this is because I almost grew up going to Disney World with my grandparents. Like, we didn't really, but they had a house in Florida, so a lot of times like we would see them while we were down there, and they would come sometimes and everything. But and both of my grandparents on my dad's side of the family are no longer with us, but I just love seeing older couples. Oh, the older the better. I just think it is so sweet when they're there, especially when they're there like by themselves. And I saw a bunch of like older couples, like older, but also just like my dad's age, which as I get older does not feel old anymore. So my dad's like in his early 60s, and seeing more couples like that, and they have annual passes and stuff. And I think that's so great that there are these people who you wouldn't think of as like the target demographic going to Disney. Not that there's anything wrong with the families and the kids. That's great. I love that too. I love seeing like little kids having fun and enjoying themselves and dancing and meeting the characters. I think that's awesome. a couple of years ago I went with most of my family at large, and I loved being able to go with my cousin's kids and seeing Disney through like their kids' eyes, because I haven't been to Disney World with a kid since I was a kid, you know? So that's awesome. So I love seeing the older couples. But I've also been seeing more and more people that aren't from the US. And usually you can tell because they don't speak English, like, or at least they're not speaking English when they're talking to each other. And I just love that. I love that you're having these guests, these international guests who are coming and experiencing this and taking the time to travel to the US and to travel to Disney World and to experience it and to see it. And I'm just loving seeing more and more and more of that. I love it. I think it's awesome. And then the last thing is paper straws. So going into this trip, I was all concerned because I was like, I'm talking to my dad, I'm like, everybody's complaining about this paper straw thing. And like, don't get me wrong, I used to hate paper straws. But the last couple of times we were in Disney, because in Animal Kingdom, they have always had paper straws. The last time we were like at Animal Kingdom in 2017, I specifically remember being at Flame Tree Barbecue, drinking my drink and being like, is this a paper straw? Because this straw is not falling apart. So I was like, I don't understand what people are complaining about. Like, paper straws aren't perfect, but I felt like the ones Disney had last time were pretty good, so I don't see what the problem is. But I see people complain about it on the internet all the time. So I was like, I use metal straws at home. I'm like, do I bring metal straws? Like, what do I do? So I brought metal straws and like a cleaner thing. And I brought them to the parks every day. And I used it once. And I'm pretty sure it was our last day that I used it. I got a like slushy drink and my straw just could not hold up to the slushy drink. It just could not suck it up and it fell apart. So one time did I have a straw fail me. One time. Once. Now I don't think you can like carry your drink around and sip on it for 3 hours. I'm not that kind of person, so that's not my problem. But I think these are perfectly good straws. And if you have a problem with paper straws, then bring your own straws. You can bring plastic straws if you want, or you can do what I did and bring metal straws. You can literally buy like a set of 4 metal straws with a carrying bag and a little cleaner thing at Walmart for like $4. Just do it. And like, don't complain about it. Like, I don't. And like, I like to drink with a straw. Your other option is to not drink with a straw. But if there is ice in a beverage, I prefer to drink with a straw because I don't like the ice to touch my teeth. It hurts my teeth. I'm not like super sensitive, but sensitive enough that it kind of bothers me. So I prefer to use a straw if there's ice involved in a beverage. But seriously, a week-long vacation and I used my paper straw or my metal straw one time. Like, I don't understand all these people like that are having issues with it. So those are my thoughts. Stay tuned. I'll do a video, like I said, about the dessert party and like if I thought it was worth it or not or whatever. We did it for Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom. So yes, those are my observations. Hopefully they're not too controversial or anything. I really enjoyed my trip. I'm glad I went. It was awesome to have like a father-daughter trip. It's like throwing it back. Yeah. And I've already booked my next vacation. So that's good. So thank you so much for watching. If you did watch this, sorry about my voice if you stayed tuned through all of it. I swear I don't sound like this all the time. I only sound slightly annoying normally. Not this annoying, I'm sure. This is gonna be fun to edit. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!